Good evening, skins and bones.
They call me Mr. Bits. Call him Mr. Bits.
Welcome to Blood from a Stone, our horror game here on Long Lost Lore. It appears there's a hype train going before we've even started playing, which is nice and also interesting. I hope everyone's having a great week out there. I know I'm having a week. I don't mean that in like the bad way. I just mean a week has transpired. Let's see, what things should I mention before we start playing? Oh yeah, this is Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG, because I don't say that enough, and I really like how it sounds. I'm the dread master of this game, because scary and surrounding me are some of our players. We may have more as the night goes on. But here in Heisteles, you know, everyone ultimately is all alone and in it for themselves, so when we have kind of fewer players, that's okay. There's a side light that's like way closer to me than I realized.
It looks great.
Where's your main light, Philip?
It's in here. Never forget it, guys. It's just right in here. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So, one thing that we did not mention last week, and I kind of didn't realize, but we have it here for the players who are present. We did, in fact, have, since we're back in a D&D mode over here, we had 3 of our players reach level 5 last week, which means Sister Mercy, Igneous, and Dr. Soup are all or level 4. They made it. They survived 5 sessions, so now they're level 4. So we've leveled them up, ready to go. And we also have we have Mikey Mikey's already, this will be session 3 for Mikey. So survive 3 more and Mikey can go up.
Look, I'm just a guy trying to do what he can do.
Yeah.
Living a life, singing a song.
Oh,
making love.
God, they're all so dead. It's good. This is gonna end so bad for these people. It's amazing. So yeah, so that's a fun thing. We didn't mention that last week. I'm also going to open this calendar now because I do it. I just opened 18. Let's try for 19. What are you, 19? Ooh, it is a D12. It is a golden D12 that just says 12 and has no symbol. Yay.
The real treasure with the dice to be pulled from the adventure calendar along the way.
I'm sure someone's done a joke of, you know, maybe the real treasure is all this fucking treasure we just got.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny because it's a thing. Well, great. Well, I'm so excited to get into tonight's game. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed and follows us. As always, if you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get a free subscription. And if you're already using your Prime with us, just remember you have to do it every month or, every month or so, just because it's a very weird system. But it's much appreciated to those who are sending us their Amazon bucks. If you don't send it to us, just make sure you send it to somebody because you got it. And if you got it, you should use it. That's my philosophy. I'm also going to mention real quick that the Dread Clock stands at 10. It stood at 8 at the end of last session of this game, but since they are in a domain of dread in our Sunday night game, and we had 2 natural 13s rolled there, those count on the overall Dread Clock because I am a bad person according to Lauren.
Me.
So,
I think you're a great person, Philip.
You know what? I appreciate that about you. I feel
You're questionable at best.
I really have to say that, Dan, it is my opinion that you really, in some ways, capture the spirit of this game most. You're the only person who's Pierce does as well in many cases, but you're just so excited. You are so excited when you get those nat 13s. You know, you're leaning into what it is, and the energy is appreciated.
I'm a fan of building energy and narrative delight.
It shows. It shows. That being said, everyone in these games builds narrative delight in other great ways, because just as awesome as it is Dan's enthusiasm, Lauren's absolute terror every time there's a horror surge is also fun. So it like the best.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, like the best safety razor, it cuts both ways. Yeah, I'll let that sink in for a few seconds. Much like a safety razor. Well, that's some information. Let's talk about what happened last time. Our Heistelesians? That's what I'm going to call them. They went to Mikey's penthouse. They made it through the night. Whiskerina, Vizzini, Giant Maul did receive a message in her teacup that a vampire would be visiting them because her tea leaves looked like this. And she provided that warning to everyone. Oh no, I've done the thing now. I've done the thing. Damn it. Doesn't matter. I'll be soft. So the group managed to not have a vampire sort of come in and kill the sleeping Just Jenny. So she was able to recover, as were all of our group. And the next morning, they went ahead and listened to the record that they'd pulled, or that Just Jenny had been stealing. Just Jenny thought this might not be a good idea, and in fact, she left the room as it continued. The rest of them, despite so many off-ramps being given to them by the Dreadmaster, continued listening to the words of a lich, sort of speaking a song from yet another domain of dread, a place called Paradise. A song written by the Stone Man, a song titled Blood from a Stone. This song produced a strange amorousness in the group, as well as sort of lowered their morality. They were unable to resist it, and by the end of the song, or actually they did not make it to the end of the song, because Whiskerina, rather improbably based on the sort of diminishing, based on the diminishing morality scores of the group, Whiskerina, Vizzini, Giant Maul actually managed to resist against the song's worse effects as it continued, and she used her mage hand to remove the needle from the phonograph, despite sort of mentioning that this would make an absolutely wonderful show for her graduate students, not her undergraduate students. For the clay that's already been molded, I guess is a way one could put it. It still hasn't been fired. It still has not gone into the kiln, but she's molded it now.
So you don't want to mold them you want to mold them to be real wild too early, you know?
Yeah, it's so... everyone in the group, even Whiskerina, although to a lesser extent and kind of not sort of unassigned even, the rest of members of the group found themselves lovesick for people from their past, especially for the three of you who are currently present. Igneous, all you can think of is Metamorphia. Sister Mercy, you are down to clown with Mr. Rawlings. Oh man, you're just imagining yourselves back in Mercher in those rooms, just like arguing about, he's like, stop humming the song, and you're like, make me, and then he kisses you to make you stop humming. Like that kind of stuff. And I don't know, Mikey, based on you rolled for it, Mikey, maybe just because they've been talking about it, maybe because she just was nearby recently.
It reminded me of the nice evening we had together,
Yeah, you were thinking of Violet the Vamp, and in fairness, she really is something. This does explain why she liked to bite you so much, though. Like, some things are making more sense now.
Look, I mean, just because you're putting together pieces of the puzzle doesn't mean it's an unattractive looking puzzle.
Absolutely. No. Nothing wrong with you. I mean, look, she's a little cold, but otherwise, I'm sure it's a good
look,
time.
we all have our own past traumas we got to work over. If she want,
Yeah.
Who's to say I haven't been a little cold to her?
Yeah, she's literally cold in the sense that she has no. Yeah. Mikey's good. He gets it. So, we sort of ended actually on an interesting moment last week, and based on a few things. The first thing I'm going to do is read tonight's extremely brief invocation. This is a single, like a single sentence situation. I'm just gonna read this. I really love this one. This is by one of my favorite authors of this genre. And I think it's fitting for a variety of reasons tonight. She was trouble looking for somebody to happen to. So, let's begin. Igneous, Sister Mercy, and Mikey. Hold on. The song that is playing is too lighthearted for right now. There we go. This is a little smoother. This is a little more moody. Having heard this song, having felt the pull of these people who you've either been with before or realizing you always wanted to be, Whiskerina has removed the phonograph, or removed the record from the phonograph. Sister Mercy, Hattie begins accusing you, or you begin accusing Hattie, rather, of, well, basically you begin accusing Hattie of taking Rawlings for herself. You're asking her where Rawlings really is. Meanwhile, Hattie is trying to make her way to Mikey. It's kind of a chaotic and disturbing scene. Whiskerine is looking around, hoping that this does not carry on. Dr. Soup has gone into the room where Just Jenny has barricaded herself. Hattie tries to push away from you, Sister Mercy. She doesn't seem to want to give you any time of day. Her eyes are only on Mikey. Are you trying to hold her there?
Yes.
So as kind of this grappling, this contested moment continues, Hattie continuing to look at Mikey, her face unreadable as it is constantly wreathed in smoke. You all suddenly hear a gremlin cry out in pain.
From the bedroom?
From the bedroom. Moments later, Just Jenny walks out, kind of looking kind of like mildly flustered. A cigarette holder already lit in hand. She's now wearing her usual getup, but just saying, "Oh, this was... I knew I shouldn't have let you listen to that. Oh, look at all of you. Look at your eyes. What's wrong with you? Are you all trying to come for me too now?"
No. Wait, no. What happened in there? He's okay?
She moves over to you, Mikey, for that. You actually see Dr. Soup walking out of the room, like rubbing his face with this look of absolute, like dejection and, like shame on his face. He looks a bit out of sorts, but she's saying, I knew I shouldn't have come here. This was such a mistake, Mikey. She's like clinging to your arm. Like, basically, based on the way that you sort of indicated, that you were not trying to get with her, and you're pushing her away.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like, I'm not like pushing her, like shoving her off, and I'm like kind of like trying to extricate myself. Like,
Understood.
Hey, like,
Mikey, are you proficient in insight?
I am.
Then go ahead and make an insight roll for me.
Well, that's a 19. Unfortunately, I do not have a +6.
Understood. A 19 is very good. I'm going to say, given this, and even though she can be very hard to read, based purely on body language, not even facial expression, the way that upon Jenny coming to your arm, like, Hattie looks very angry. Hattie's Hattie basically pushes away from Sister Mercy and begins sort of striding there, her hand going to her whip. But, so you notice this, Mikey. You see Hattie has some sort of, I think you can deduce she maybe has some sort of fixation for you. But Just Jenny sees it as well and immediately steps away from you. And she continues saying, actually, no, wait. Sorry, hold on one second. Yeah. Just Jenny will instead, for just one moment, say, Oh, I see. Oh, I understand. Oh, Doctor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you. I never should have gotten you all involved in this.
Understand what? What are you talking about, Jenny?
These are powerful things, don't you see? Are you in love with me, Igneous?
No, not you.
Good.
You're all right.
I'm no good. You don't want to be in love with me.
No, you're just fine, Jenny. Jenny, you're just fine.
Stop. Dr. Seuss,
So wait, what's...
I'm so... She just bats him away and he instantly is quiet. Yes, Mikey, yes, what?
Wait, so what... Is it like a question? Do I like understand that like I would like am feeling different than I did before I listened to the record? Like what's my like awareness of the situation? Like
I would say you can tell that Hattie's acting weird. You can tell Dr. Soup's acting weird. You, however, in the nature of the charm, because, and by the way, you guys are like, I mean, not actually, Mikey, you're only single charmed. Dr. Soup's triple charmed. Mercy and Igneous are double charmed. This is like the best, like different sources. This is just the best day in the world. Mikey, you can tell that something has affected stuff, but in that way that sort of charming effects often kind of like mess with perspective.
yeah.
You don't feel yours was. You just feel that you're now like thinking of someone who got away and like she could make you happy and that's who you should go be with. The rest of these people are in trouble.
Yeah, so look, Jenny, I don't know what happened. Like, we listened to this record. I don't know. All of a sudden, it got really weird. Like, obviously, we're hearing some weird shit, you know, but like, I don't know. Everyone just started behaving strange. I mean, like.
I know. I told you all not to listen. I really did. I said it was a bad idea.
Maybe you were right. Maybe you were right. Just Jenny.
I don't want to be right. I just want to be safe.
Well, look, we can leave the theatrics for later, okay? But like,
it's not theatrics, I promise. I promise, but I need you, Mikey. I really do need you. And as she turns to you, Mikey, could you please make a morality saving throw?
all right, what is, okay, cool. I got a cool -1 to this check.
Okay.
So, non-natural 13.
A non-natural 13.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Things are kind of hairy right now.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
For some reason, there's a small part of you that feels like the tearful request she's giving you. Like you some dark thing makes you want to maybe stand against it. I'm going to say don't make this for maximum chaos. I'm going to say really like want you to like really just like actually decide how you feel about this moment. You have failed the check, but I'm going to offer you the following deal. You can roll a d4. Your saving throw will increase by the amount you roll, as will the dread clock.
Take a deep breath.
I mean, look, Mikey doesn't want to be charmed more than once, right?
Yeah.
That's a 1. So that probably doesn't even do it for me, huh?
No, it does not. So the dread clock goes up by 1, and you do not beat the DC 15.
Damn.
Which, if I'm being perfectly honest, this was my ideal outcome.
I'm sure it was, yeah.
I get a freebie on the clock, and very good. Alrighty.
Nothing good happens for us.
That's fine. That's fine with me. Honestly, I was. Yeah, I don't know. You know. Anyway, so now I'm like.
You sort of fall into this. You suddenly realize that as much as it's a competing thing. You look at her tears and you do feel that obviously, you know, it's not like this woman is the one for you, but
There's something special about her.
you need to help her.
Yeah.
She needs help, and you're not going to feel right. In fact, I'm going to let them just get murky and like stewed together in this horrible mire. You know Violet the Vamp? She wouldn't be okay with you not helping this woman. That's not the kind that...
And that's why I love Violet so much.
Exactly.
She's a good human.
In fact,
you know?
Violet was coming to look for her. Violet probably wants to help her. You should probably find Violet and bring these two together. But
Right.
for now, Mikey, the way she sort of says this to you, you do sort of fall under her spell, as it were.
Right.
And she, upon sort of noticing this, kind of just nods. She looks at Hattie, who is just glaring down at her, and she's actually going to say, I don't think I can be around you all anymore. I think it's too dangerous for you. It's too dangerous for me. It's too dangerous, more importantly, for the mission. She comes to Sister Mercy. You remember the mission, right? You know why we're here. You know what you need. What do you want more than anything, Sister Mercy? Sister Mercy, in your mind, only one answer comes. Rawlings.
Okay.
Mr. Rawlings, maybe coming out of the lake there in Merkshire, or maybe here in one of the seedy rooms of this horrible place. You suddenly imagine yourselves entwined under the neon lights as you drove through this city.
You know, she has been in a convent for very long. Her imagination just is ready for it.
Your mind is full of strange fantasies, much as in these strange fantasies your body is full of... Listen, the point is, that is what comes to your mind. But again, she sort of says, you know what's important, right? You know what we have to do, right? What's the most important thing? You told me.
Did I tell you the details? Because that seems kind of inappropriate that I would have told you the Yes. I understand what is so important.
Oh dear. Oh dear. This is... Oh, it's just so much. I have to be alone.
No, look.
No, I really do. She looks at you and she says, just whatever happens, you have to get that phonograph. As much as you take care for me, you have to. But I can't be here. I'm putting you in danger. She goes to Whiskerina, who is also still sort of under her tearful request, and she takes the record away. Says, this has caused too much trouble. Whiskerina's like, oh, well, I want to perform, but okay. She says, you've got to just please get the phonograph. Please, promise me.
No, you know, I have a safe place to put the record. I can put it in, and I'll pull out the sheet music that I have.
Make a persuasion roll.
It is a dirty 20.
With your insight, Mikey, make another insight check for me.
That's a natural 1 for a 3.
You don't know anything that's happening in here. All you're thinking
I'm sorry,
about...
it's a 21.
That'll do it too.
Mikey, sorry, 4. I forgot my jacket.
Sure, yeah. Add the thing on. So, So, Mikey, you were just thinking about Violet the Vamp. But Sister Mercy, Igneous, are you proficient in insight? You
yes.
might. Yeah. Why don't you make a roll as well, Sister Mercy? Are you proficient in insight?
No.
Okay, cool. Then that's perfect.
Nat 20. So that'd be a
20. 22. Igneous. So you kind of, Mikey, your thoughts are of Violet the Vamp, but Igneous, as you look at just Jenny, you can tell that she's genuinely scared of this record. She said she wants to take it away, but Sister Mercy's offering to keep it, and some part of her wants to leave it with Sister Mercy. Like, I mean, obviously you completely trust Jenny. She's not doing anything, but you really do feel, you can see her fear. She doesn't know what the right thing to do here is. She's scared.
Jenny, just Jenny. I mean, look, it's clear that you're frightened. This record brings up a lot within you, and I feel as if we, this group here has enough wherewithal and responsibility to take this burden from you. We'll hold it. This is too much for you to take on. I can tell. I see it on your face. Just leave it with us, please.
Fine. Just don't listen to it. She goes to the door of the apartment. She puts her little hand on she's a gnome. Just by the way, she's a gnome. She puts like a small hand on the doorknob and just goes, but promise me. She turns it. Find the phonograph, but she kind of half steps out and then looks back through the door. Please. Don't listen to it on the phonograph, please.
Hey, Jenny, before you go, I'm gonna hold out the revolver I took out of the safe. Take this. You need some kind. You gotta be able to protect yourself.
I already have something. Don't worry about me. Just get the phonograph. You'll need all the weapons you have. She slips out, closes the door behind her.
Where are we gonna find her? She just left. I run to the door. Jenny, where are we gonna meet?
Dr. Soup rushes after you, going after Jenny. Hattie comes to you, Mikey. Kind of just like saying she needs to talk to you in private. Make another insight roll. Oh no, you already made one, actually.
Yeah.
You know the vibe with her. She seems to be infatuated with you.
I'll be like, okay, and I'll go into the kitchen, not the closed dining room.
Understood. She attempts amorous. We won't RP. I won't RP on Liv's behalf, but sort of there's some overtures are made. At the same time, she also wants to murder you. So like her whip is in her hand the whole time.
Look, Hattie, look, you clearly got a lot of conflicting emotions going on right now, and I think it's not doing anything rash. Just like you take some time to think about it, and maybe like once you kind of know what's going on in here, then we can figure out what's going on right here.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. I'm sure you are pretty good at such things.
They're not the worst skill I have.
Okay.
That's a 18. No, 17, sorry.
Okay. I think that is probably enough for her to kind of pause. For her to sort of... She grips her whip again and walks out of the room.
All right. Right. So, go back and join the others. So, got to get this phonograph.
And I think I'm yelling down for Jenny. So I don't know.
So and if Jenny has told you it's at Blunderland, so you do know where the phonograph player is.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, asking Jenny, where are we going to meet her?
Oh, she would have done the pretty typical. Believe me, I'll find you. I'll be able to find you.
They all okay.
That was a gnome walk.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back then.
Cool. So Mikey is basically saying you guys need to find the phonograph. You need to get this.
I mean, go ahead.
How long is the charm maintained after she leaves?
You don't know.
Okay,
I will let you know when it's not.
thank you.
I mean, I guess I agree that we should get this thing, but I mean, the numbers are dwindling. I mean, how are we gonna do this?
I would like to examine in detail the record.
All right, you guys have already looked it over. It is in the Infernal language. I believe you were the one who. Do you speak Infernal?
No.
Oh, that's right. It was Hattie and Dr.
Nothing else.
Hattie and Dr. Soup looked it over. As far as you can tell, the label was made. I'll just no rolls required here, because you guys did a pretty good look over it. This label came from here. This record came from here. This was recorded at the Heisteles University by some professor, whose voice you heard on the record, sort of speaking to this lich, who then sang the song or said the song. It seems to simply be the date that it was recorded, which was a few years ago.
Okay.
Having, a couple times performed private shows at Blunderland, what do I remember of like the layout, like the kind of like people around there, like all that stuff?
Blunderland does have, it has sort of two gates onto the property. There's like a main gate, then there's a side gate that like deliveries can come through. That's more sort of like towards like the back rear, and like a road goes around. There's like a big, beautiful sort of main gate that goes through with, like a big roundabout, kind of grand parking area. It is also bound by various, like woods on the sides of it. And those woods are not far from kind of where the mist generally bounds in the greater Heisteles metropolitan area. Towards that back section, that's where the theater is, and so you tended to go through that back entrance. That back entrance leads directly into a kitchen. That is where Igneous and Sister Mercy and Dr. Soup and Rawlings escaped out of several weeks ago. You are very aware that there are a bunch of undead who work as the staff there. But as far as the theater itself goes, there's sort of like basically like the main sort of work area, kitchens, like other like rooms, where just sort of like the not the pretty rooms outside of it, and then that leads to the backstage area of the theater. Go ahead.
Based on like what I know of the place and what just Jenny told us, could I like piece together where this phonograph might likely be?
She said the phonograph is in his study.
Okay, would I know how to get there from where I've been?
I don't think you would have been to the study, but why don't you go ahead and roll a survival check? Let's just have you attempt some kind of like intuitive tracking or whatever.
9.
You couldn't say. You've been in the main foyer, you've been in, kind of like the grand ballroom, you've been in the theatrical areas and some backstage rooms around there. You probably were in one of the bedrooms one time, but many people come to these shows. But you don't know where. You certainly haven't been to like the judge's more private areas, his bedroom or his study or any of that kind of area.
Right. So I'll explain this to everyone. Like, look, like I've been there before, but I haven't seen anything like what we might be looking for, and I couldn't tell you where it is.
Yeah, and I don't particularly want to go back there without some type of muscle or something that can, help us. Are we gonna bust in, sneak in? I don't even know. I just hope I live to see Metamorphia again.
I can make myself invisible, and I'm not like the noisiest of people, but that's just one person,
This establishment is very important in this city. Is that correct?
Important, infamous, I guess you could say.
So, in my world, with academics, they have maps, usually of the cities around them. Is there a map place that we could find in this university that may have
It'll
the
probably
answer?
be the city planning office, right?
Perhaps the city planning office would have a layout of Blunderland. That is possible. It's also possible the judge
You probably cover that up.
might have covered it up, although maybe not. There might not be reason for him to. But yeah, Whiskerina would say that's probably not she'd volunteer. That's probably not at the university.
No fan art or anything?
I mean,
Oh,
Mikey, I suppose that's a. I don't know if I'm not sure if Ignis is saying that out loud, but I suppose that the possibility of like going another place you could go would be to like the newspaper records office and like just go through, like old newspapers to see if there's any pictures from inside, that might reveal something about the layout.
Well, look, I mean, we could certainly do that. I'll explain. Ignis, that's a great idea. That'll probably take a little bit longer, so we want to like check out, like checks for some floor plans, like down at like City Hall or something first.
or we can just go and see what we see.
We're not gonna get past the front gate, honey.
I'm wondering if maybe somebody's been in there before. Like, I mean, maybe one of the dames at the Bad Dragon might know what his bedroom of study looks like. I mean,
That's actually not a bad idea. I know a few of the ladies down there, so we could
Nobody has explained to me what this bad dragon is. I do not understand. Why do people assume that I work there?
Ignis, you want this or shall I?
The women of the night tend to provide entertainment with
Like
not
singing.
much.
I sing. I do.
It's
Mr. Mercer, you heard of the words oldest profession?
Ay, Dios mío. Okay. Okay. I'm okay. I still do not understand why people think that I work there, but
a lot of theatrics.
Just-
You
To put it delicately, there's some outfits that people sometimes request. Yeah.
I do not wish to know more. But thank you.
Put it indelicately, Mikey. No, just kidding.
Hey, no, I'm not. Look, I'm not backstage with a couple of the guys after a set. I got a couple ladies here.
Do they dress as nuns as well? Or I don't answer that. Actually, I don't want to know.
You see Hattie's hands just like tightening around her whip. She's getting very mad at the prospect of Mikey's other paramours.
So I mean, should we? Take a shot. Do we have any?
I mean, it's the morning. It's like it's earlier. It's like early enough in the morning. They're probably like finishing up their, probably like getting closed down for the night. So we might be able to catch some ladies on the way out.
Leftover buffet? Might as well.
Trust me, you don't want that buffet even when it's fresh.
Ugh.
What is a buffet?
It's just where they
Sister
have a bunch
Mercy,
of-
actually, you would know it as a piece of furniture.
Oh, leftover. But the furniture piece is not left over unless they move. Did they move out of the Bad Dragon and then left their furniture?
No, it's also a reference to a kind of like a serve yourself kind of meal where they just put it all on one long table and you can take whatever you want.
Hey, why would you do that?
It's you can make it in bulk and it's cheaper, and it's kind of like a little amenity that they have where it's like another reason to stay a little longer. Oh, well, you don't got to leave to get food. You can have a little food there. And then all of a sudden you're there for like 8 or 9 to 12 hours. Like, yeah,
I do not wish to eat food that has been sitting out for 8 or 12 hours. But
Right, yeah.
yes, let's go speak to these women of the night. I will pray for them, but I think it could be a good thing.
Sister Mercy, might I give you a word of advice? Don't tell them you're going to pray for them.
No, I will pray in my own heart. I do not judge. I do not. There is much that I have to learn about this world. So you can lead the way because you obviously have attended the Bad Dragon very much. So let's go.
Mikey, you got any singles we can take down there?
Simoleons.
Look,
Small bills.
look, they can break and change there.
And y'all remember, anybody wearing sweatpants, no sweatpants allowed.
Oh, you can definitely wear sweatpants to the bad dragon.
Mikey does not own a pair of sweatpants.
No, you cannot wear it. Yeah, it's very classy establishment.
For Mikey, it's all like short chino shorts and suits.
So you guys are going to the Bad Dragon. That's the plan. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
You need
Alright.
Jesus in this world.
All right. To the Bad Dragon they go.
Woo.
Okay. I'm gonna roll. Ooh, beautiful. So as you guys all leave, it is absolute torrential downpour. The rain has not stopped. Maybe there's some sense that the dread clock is still just right there, ready to go. But as you guys make your way out of the building, Mikey, would you please roll a d20 for me? Let's see if the car you parked here still has tires.
It's a 3.
Oh.
You guys come out and you do see this car stolen from the ventriloquist dummies. I will say with a 3, there's no tires left. It's just on some blocks.
Yeah.
Um,
I can have the guy call us like a couple cabs, couple taxis.
yeah, and it won't be. It's not. I mean, yeah, you can. It's it's the city. There's always ways to get around. So, if you guys are going to head from the
It can't be more than a handful of blunderbucks to get there by cab.
Blunderbucks. So as you all head away from the old Belvedere, and make your way to the Bad Dragon through the rain, you get in a couple of cabs. Actually, no, you just get in a cab. There's only 5. Actually, no, I will. Well, I should roll for it just in case. She can roll high. She's gonna steer out of this. No, that's a 4 on the die. You saying that you're going to this place, Hattie just storms away. She just swings off she's furious swinging away into the rain. However, Whiskerina will still come with you, so the sort of, it's the 4 of you can get into a cab. This is back in the days when cars were bigger and Whiskerina's small. Hattie swings off into the rain. The others get into a cab. All right. Boy. Okay. Well, you get in and you say to the cabbie your location.
Yeah.
All right. The cab driver.
Oh no.
I rolled a natural 13, so it's a dude. Man, I wish that mine counted. But he sort of, upon you saying that you're going to the Bad Dragon, he kind of like smirks. And, he's like, whoa. He looks Sister Mercy up and down.
I'll say, hey, buddy, business not pleasure. There's a bigger tip in there for you if you keep your mouth quiet.
Hey, so I didn't know the show started this early. No problem. Yeah, we'll get you there on time. Don't worry. Don't want to keep the folks waiting.
He's a real nun.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'll bet she is. He will drive you guys to there. Okay. So you guys get to the Bad Dragon. It is it's just kind of like a pretty nondescript door on the side of a building. You don't even pass by where the silver screen was destroyed the other night. As you arrive there, Mikey, you do notice that it seems like it's still open because there is a bouncer outside of the place. This bouncer is notable for not having any legs. This bouncer is a sort of snake on the bottom, and on the top has two very sort of like strong, sort of meaty arms. Looks like a pretty formidable person. Sister Mercy, you have never seen a creature like this before. He is wearing kind of a, actually, no, I'm gonna call it audible on this. I'll go Sidney Green Street. He's got like a fez on, and he's kind of, he's just kind of wearing like a nice jacket, but he's kind of like looking sort of this. And as you guys are getting out of the cab, Mikey, as you're paying, you do notice there's a few very like weird individuals like nursing like injured jaws, kind of in evening wear, kind of like huddled sort of under a little awning, a door down from here, just kind of glaring back at the place.
Do I know this bouncer?
I think you would know this bouncer. Yes.
I'm going to instinctually get behind Igneous and put my hands on his short little shoulders, just to, not like aggressively, but just like, please go ahead of me, because I don't like this.
Don't worry about it.
All right. The bouncer's name is Ophi, by the way. Ophi.
Say, hey, Ophi, how's it going?
Well, morning, Mikey. It's a bit on the early side for you to, unless you're still up, in which case it's a real late one for you.
No, shockingly well rested right now, actually. More here on, sadly more than.
He kind of like looks at you, and you know, like you're a performer. Seeing Sister Mercy behind you, goes,
Mikey, look, we got plenty of performers, but
no,
if you're trying to,
she's a grade A woman of God.
He kind of like
yes.
slithers out from under the awning covering this portion into the rain, kind of on his thing. And he kind of comes over and sort of looks you over. And Sister Mercy, the face on this creature is very snake-like. The eyes are kind of like, you know, that sort of like kind of, you know, slits. There's no real sort of nose. It's kind of, you know, a very just, and kind of he sort of, even in the rain, just kind of goes. And then he like kind of slithers back to where he is. He grabs an umbrella from a little thing. He sort of comes back over and puts it over you, but he kind of gets down and goes,
Miss, this is no place for you.
No, I have, I will look at the others and say, I have come to pray, to bless the building, to make sure that everyone is safe. With no judgment at all, just to come and bless the building and bless you.
No, I'm telling you, you're gonna see things in here you're not gonna like.
She sings gospel and she's joining the band, and she's got to see this stuff if she's gonna make it.
I
make it. I don't even know if that's a deception check. Just make a fucking weird comment check. No. Yeah, roll. I guess.
I was like looking down at him. He's like.
I guess roll a deception check on that she's in the band and needs to learn about whatever this argument is. Yeah, I'm into it. That's fine.
That was a nat 1, so it's a 4.
A 4. He kind of gives you a like. Yeah. Okay.
Kofi, look, like I said, it's really weird business. It's like nothing, like it's all above board. Like I can promise you that much.
Well, I mean, Mikey, you know, I mean, if you want to go in, I mean, but Mikey, you understand, he kind of gets low, and he's also pretty big. He's got some real reach.
Yeah.
Like
He's being very polite, and he's keeping this umbrella over Sister Mercy the whole time. But no, he's leaning down to Mikey, and it's kind of raining pretty hard. So I guess Igneous and Sister Mercy, if you guys are leaning in, you might hear this. But he sort of says to you, Mikey, he's like, I mean, Mikey, I mean, it's not even it's the day shift, Mikey.
Kofi, I know. Okay. I look him dead in the eyes and I just go, I know exactly what I'm getting her into. You think look, you know me, Ophi. Will I bring someone here at a time? Would I bring someone here if I didn't, at this time of day, if I didn't think it was absolutely necessary? Nothing against those women, but just, it is the day shift.
All right.
They need all the prayer they can get. Is this yes? Is
Everybody's
this what?
gotta work, right?
What is wrong with the day shift?
He's
It's-
going to. He will sort of back away from that. Then that's he'll say, all right, okay, yeah, you can. Yeah, in that case, you can go on in.
I'll hold the door for them, and then as I go in, I'll say, Ophi, by the way, what happened to little rowdy action last night?
They got a little handsy with a couple of our. They asked for a pixie show.
Okay,
They were
yeah.
getting a little handsy.
Yeah,
That's the-
fair.
Only the pixies just, but
Yeah.
is those poor girls. I swear, the places people have them go. He'll
You're doing a great job out here,
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
pixies are tiny. Are they not? Oh
They're
no.
they're for context, they're about the size of a gerbil. Anyway,
Good night, everyone.
you guys said let's
Ophi,
come
next
here.
time- next time-
Actually, speaking. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
Say,
Mikey.
Ophi, next time you're at the club, stop on by backstage after the show. We'll get your drinks on me.
That's appreciated, but I got a whole nest at home, so I gotta keep working as much as I can. But he says, listen.
Oh, hey, if you ever want to bring the missus out for a night,
Oh, yeah. What's a night out, huh? He then kind of leans down to Sister Mercy and just says, Mikey's like a good guy. These guys seem all right, but I'm just gonna say, don't feel pressured into staying in here. All right. If you don't like what you're seeing, just leave. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
He's like,
gracias.
because this is no place for a nice girl like you. Oh, hey, Whiskerina, good to see you. And with that, he'll
What is wrong with this place that people are saying that this is not good?
I'm going to take a rather I mean, we have it up on our screen here, but I'm actually going to just take a pause here.
Uh-oh.
The bad dragon. Don't Google those words because I named this
not.
after a thing. There's going. We always put a mature, like extreme content warning on this one. Things might get a little more intense in here, so just be aware that this is a weird sort of sex club. Depending on who they roll up, stuff might get weird in here.
This is an 18 and over channel.
Basically, that's kind of what I'm saying at this exact moment. Okay. And I mean, I can control myself. I'm not a monster, but no, I can't. I can't control myself. I made it about 4 seconds before I was like, pixies are the size of gerbils. So,
Everyone is just Googling Bad Dragon as we speak.
yeah.
Don't do it.
Massive thunder rumbles in the distance. Ophi sort of looks up, and yeah, sure enough, Mikey, you hold the door for everyone. You are all led into this, and it's kind of like, I mean, it wasn't really that bright outside, so you don't have that like intense, like you're in the darkness as your eyes adjust. But it's very dark in here. It smells sort of, well, it smells like a lot of things, but it's very sort of like, just kind of like, fetid air, just kind of very, it's really kind of like not a lot of airflow in here.
Yeah.
Smells like sweat and shame and cigarettes. You all come in, and actually, Mikey, you'll go ahead. Could you please roll for me a d6?
Did I make a performer table for this? 5?
You absolutely did, is the answer.
So, this means, Mikey, you do... So there is kind of like there's like a main stage area, and you do see a little sign is currently up saying that on the main stage is Phoenix Burns.
Right.
But
I'm unless like, you know, Sister Mercy has a curiosity she's satisfied and watch a little bit what's going on. I'm not here to like, sadly I'm not here to watch and be a patron of the arts. I'm here to like, you know, see if there's anyone like getting off duty, or just anyone, any ladies walking around getting off duty. Not, I don't know what you heard, Sister Mercy, but we're just gonna see if there's anyone who I can like, any ladies walking around who we can talk to. Just ask a couple questions.
Understood. In that case, you do in fact see, and I know this is very on point, but I don't. It's just it legitimately is what rolled. There is a smoking one cigarette girl, who is kind of coming over. She's wearing like a very, you know, sort of short sort of skirt. And she's carrying a tray with various cigarettes. She's got a little hat on, but you can't see her face. She's like wafting. And she sort of comes over and says,
cigarettes, Tiparillos? Cigarettes, Tiparillos? Can I show you to a table?
We'd love a table. Sorry, I don't personally smoke. What's your name, sweetie?
My name is Puffy.
Nice to meet you, Puffy. My name is Mikey. It's a pleasure.
Charmed, I'm sure. Well, if you don't want a cigarette, how about some candy? I got mints. I got chocolates. I got olives.
Okay, we're just candy.
I'll take some olives.
But you call olives candy?
No, I just also got them.
Okay, no, because you said you want some candy, and then you were starting a list, and olives.
Well, I'm
Get
just
semantics here.
Mikey. I'm just going across my tray.
Okay, no, fair. That just struck me as odd, and I just wanted to investigate.
You are pretty, she says to Sister Mercy. Oh no,
Thank you.
Chastity ain't gonna like you.
Chastity. The virtue.
Oh, well, she'd like that you call her that. Oh my.
Oh, this is a person. And this is going to be a person who is not very chaste. I feel like I am giving him an understanding of this world.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
She doesn't spell it like the virtue. But listen.
Puffy, question. Have you ever done any work at Blunderland?
I don't want any trouble. I don't. I'm just here putting myself through school. I'm trying to learn how to be a stripper.
I'm just gonna put like what are the denominations of currencies here?
I'm not really charting money for you guys in my other noir game and being really mean about it. Mikey, you've got money. You can put it in. That's fine. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put like I'm gonna put the equivalent of like, I don't know, like $100 down.
Oh boy. Well, no, I've never worked Blunderland, but well, one of the girls here has actually. I heard her talking about it. She did a show there the night before last.
Fantastic. Well, if you wouldn't mind, we could
Igneous and Sister Mercy, the night before last, you were at Blunderland. You heard someone performing. You were backstage, but you ran away. Mikey, continue. I'm sorry.
If you wouldn't mind, would she be free for a private room for us right now?
Oh, I can arrange that. No problem.
Okay.
You could go watch Phoenix Burns for a couple seconds. I think she's getting to the part where she lights it on fire.
I look at Igby as I say, well, it's in your name, right?
But do you I'll go see. I'll set up a private room for you. She'll be happy for the business. It's always slow on these weekdays.
She'll sort of move across. Now, here's an interesting thing I'm doing. I actually need you to roll another d6 for me. Who rolled last time? Sister Mercy, why don't you roll the d6 on this? And if you roll a 5, you'll have to re-roll, because Phoenix Burns is on stage.
4.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh no, he says.
Oh, man. You're not doing the mannequin, which would have been fun.
Hate those.
Okay.
Those freak me out.
Well, you might be more creeped out by the following. But they will sort of, she'll say,
She'll be back in room 4. It's the only one big enough for her pot.
For what?
Her pot.
Oh, great. Okay.
and she just walks on. So basically she says she'll be there in a few minutes. You hear a massive burst. You hear like an explosive burst of flame. In the from the other room, and you hear a voice kind of like calling out. There's something oddly elemental about it, and also even from where you are, you feel like a minor rise in temperature. And in fact, from inside that room, you see a little bit of like a burst of flame. And you hear a woman's voice saying, "What do you think? Should I go bigger?" What are you all doing?
I'm gonna take a peek.
Okay.
I am behind Igneous, again with my hands on his little shoulders.
Just don't look, Sister Mercy. It's not worth it. This type of stuff can either scar you or create an addiction. It goes one way or the other. There's no middle ground.
I have seen many horrifying things. I'm not afraid of it. I just don't want anything to
Go look.
attack
Be
me.
my guest.
No, you go first.
All right.
All right.
Mikey and Igneous are clearly just looking, and what you see is Phoenix Burns. So Phoenix is an actual phoenix. She is like an elemental bird that sort of can rise from the ashes. But she is, in her case, a little bit more kind of like almost like a harpy. So she does have like a sort of vaguely humanoid female body, and she's currently in the act of she's immolating things. She's taking things and putting them places and immolating them from within. And oftentimes these are things that are sort of have been soaked in like flammable material, so they kind of make a big fire burst. They also have been they're crafted out of very flammable materials to kind of aid her in this. But basically she has various objects made out of like papier-mâché and other stuff to kind of set off big sort of firework-like explosions. And sometimes she sort of flies up a little bit and has them cascade down on the audience. Right now, Mikey, as you two look in, you see that the audience consists of about 4 drunks all asleep.
Yep.
There are a couple of people, though, kind of there's 1 or 2 people like watching and just kind of like looking at her with this very like deranged look in her eyes, just chanting for more. But for the most part, the room is just kind of completely done. And she is now reaching for a large paper phallic object, sort of that seems to be modeled after a giant of some kind. Has runes all over it. But as she's sort of moving that in, Sister Mercy, are you looking in the room, or you're just kind of letting them glance?
I am looking in the room, but I am keeping my distance.
Okay, so Sister Mercy, you look in, we'll just say right at the moment of insertion.
I do.
She's kind of like resting back, like her wings flapping, her legs kind of going up as she's kind of, putting this thing in, and suddenly that begins to immolate it, and these 2 guys in the crowd, actually, wait, hold on, all things being equal. Yep, these 2 guys in the crowd are going crazy for this. Sure enough, she then flies up a little bit more, and this this kind of paper. It's kind of like fireworks explode. There's this big sort of fire burst, sparklers stuff. She makes various excited sounds for the crowd. A couple of the drunks slightly stir. One of them's like, "Oh, too loud."
In the sober light of day, I just kind of like sigh dejectedly to myself and like walk up the side of the room and like put like $30-$40 on the stage, like in the corner.
She glances at you and she seems she's very appreciative, and she kind of gestures to a rack of other materials and says, "Thank you so much. Any requests?"
You're doing great. Keep it up. I'll just kind of like.
Ignis, what does she mean?
I'll just point to one and kind of walk. Like, cause I don't want to feel like I'm just kind of like pitying her, or blowing her off.
Roll
like,
a d12.
12.
Oh no.
Ooh, you rolled ooze. So things are about to get weird. But in any case, if you guys are now walking out of the room,
Yeah.
How many have we lost? All our subs? Is this it? Are we done? Has our channel been banned? Is this the end?
We're going strong, baby.
You know,
The chat is popping.
At that point, as she, something's popping at least. As she's kind of flying, she goes over to the ooze and says, "Okay, I guess somebody wants it messy." And the guys in the front row, push each other over, knocking tables out of the way to get as sort of close, like up on the stage as close as possible.
I'm going to crouch behind Igneous.
I think at this point you guys are probably leaving as...
Yeah, I'm like not watching this anymore.
Yeah, as you say, sober light of day, this is a little, you got to be in the right headspace to enjoy Phoenix Burns.
Yeah.
Her show, how will I phrase this? Her show is better, like, in the middle. Like,
It's like, well, it seems like it seems like an adult version of the Shrek 4D experience.
I mean,
Hi,
honestly,
everyone.
that's the main thing I was like basing it on. So yeah.
I want to get off of this whole planet.
Well, I don't know. You guys, no one said go to the Bad Dragon. In any case, I'm so excited for you to meet the person here. So now it's gonna get. So anyway, that was the normal part. Now is where it gets weird.
Any first-time viewers, welcome.
Yes. Again, this is a particularly 18 and up stream tonight, as they are at a sex club called the Bad Dragon. But at this point, as you sort of leave the chamber, Mikey, you do see sort of private room 4. The door has now been opened for anyone who wants to sort of go in there, or for those who've sort of done.
Yeah, walk on in.
Puffy will kind of like nod to you, like, enjoy the show. Don't. Oh wait, I forgot. She comes over to all of you and she hands each of you a bib.
Oh, gracias.
It is a sort of like a plastic bib.
What is this? What do I?
Cover up your
Put it on.
get up. Yeah, wear it. You don't want to get stuff on you.
What kind of stuff are we talking about? Because
Anything.
Oh wait, hold on. Someone who's we have to pause before this gets started. Whiskerina is
Yes.
here because if one person
Whiskerina,
will
guess where we are right
appreciate.
now.
I
Yeah, guess where we are.
Where?
Just
Guess.
guess.
the best place.
The best. Are you that dragon?
Yeah.
So just to catch you up, hello, it's so good to see you, Whiskerina, Vizini, Giant Mall. You've got with the group. They decided to come here to see if any of the gals here have maybe know anything about Blunderland. And they were actually told one of them. Now this is the day show. A very nice kind of like snake, half man outside. Sort of suggested not to bring Sister Mercy into this, as she's like a nice lady. She can't handle it. He seemed to know you fine and said hello. Enjoy yourself, etc. He recognized you. So you guys came in. You've been told that one of the performers here actually has done some shows at Blunderland, so you're going to go back and watch a private room with her, as Mikey suggested, where you can also ask her some questions. But and then they just went in and watched some of Phoenix Burns do her show, which is a lot.
Wait, what's like the overall vibe of this club? Like, what am I seeing?
So
Lots of fluids, lots of confusing things for a nun who has never seen these things.
Phoenix Burns is on the main stage, and what she does is she has a bunch of like wood and paper sort of like objects, often modeled after sort of various fantastical phalluses or other things, which she then and they're mostly filled with sparklers and other inflammatories, which she then inserts within herself and lets explode over the crowd.
Goody.
Mikey just tipped her. Happy Friday. Mikey just tipped her, and he randomly pointed to one. So she's about to do something with an ooze something, and she basically they all left before they watched that happen, as some of the people in the crowd were running up to the front of the stage to be in the splash zone. But now you are all going back. You are passing Puffy, the smoking one cigarette girl, and she's handing you all like plastic bibs to wear as you go into this private room.
Plastic bibs. Do we know why?
You actually come here a good bit, so why don't you roll a history check, Whiskerina?
Okay. Oh.
You can't quite. It seems familiar, but you can't quite remember.
Perfect.
I'm like, yeah, I'll figure this out. And as you all enter the room, Puffy gives you the things you see. There is a large pot of extremely hot water, sort of basically boiling away. And then in front of that is basically a large kiddie pool filled with melted butter. At this volume, the butter is pretty overpowering in its stench. It also seems like it might be mildly rancid. This room is just kept at a pretty sort of high temperature, and there are various candles, tall white candles lit around the chamber. There are a few sort of seats kind of like up against, like around the kiddie pool of butter and this bubbling pot.
Oof. All right. Well, let's buckle in, and I get the
put the bib on. You're like, oh man, this job's so hard sometimes, right? Yeah, exactly. So as you all sort of sit down, a door cracks open at the back of the room and says, and you hear this voice sort of coming into the quiet here say, "So, you've come to feast."
Well, certainly a tantalizing prospect. We'd love to talk a little first and then maybe see what the feast is like, if that's all right with you.
Of course. What is fine dining without good conversation?
Whiskerina, at this point, you recognize the voice of Thermidora. And this figure kind of walks in, sort of silhouetted, her body sort of covered in this beautiful silk robe. Her arms very sort of large and strangely shaped. Sister Mercy, you gasp as basically a 5.5 to 6 foot tall, like walking lobster makes her way into this room. Her sort of eyes kind of looking kind of around, sort of, and they're very painted up, very sort of sensual. Her skin is very dark. And Whiskerina, at this moment, you're like, Thermidora, that's what it is. It's the lobster show. So she just kind of like glides into the room and looks at all of you, kind of like this like silk robe around her.
Oh, what absolutely lovely guests we have here.
Oh, Chastity's not gonna like that, though, she says, looking at Sister Mercy.
No, don't worry. Not a competition or anything.
Is she a real nun?
Yes!
Well, it must be Friday because you're about to eat fish. Crustacean.
She kind of spins around a little bit, and like she like takes like throws like a shoulder of her robe off.
I'm gonna put down $100, and I'm gonna say, before we get started here, we just like to, like I said, we like to talk a little bit.
Well, for that kind of money, we can talk about anything you'd like.
She kind of like leans over the pot, the steam rising, fluttering her gown. She says,
Are you talking recipes? Mac and cheese?
We're talking
surf and turf?
We're talking less about the recipe itself and more about specific times we've executed them.
Oh, I see. You're trying to.
she kind of puts a claw into the water and kind of, she gasps as her hand goes into this really hot water, and she pulls it out, and the tips of her claws are like turning red.
I see you want to relive an experience. Well,
In that case, she climbs up onto like the lip of this pot, and she throws off her robe, and now she's standing there in all of her shelled glory. Somehow this is her naked. I don't know. They're lobster people. Aldani are weird. Anyway, but she's sort of standing there with her, like, kind of like swaying her tail seductively, looking over her shoulder at all of you.
So tell me about it. What's the meal you want me to recreate?
You cooked any good meals in the last couple of nights?
Oh, I cook a good meal every night, darling.
She kind of swishes the water with her tail. It also starts to turn red, and she winces, kind of playing up the pain of it. She then sort of turns back to you.
The question is, what have you had in the last couple of nights? That's what I want to recreate for you, my dears. The tastiest, sweetest, most succulent crustacean you've ever devoured. Tell me all about it.
We want to have whatever they have at what is it? Blunderland?
Blunderland, yes, that's correct.
At Blunderland.
She backs up for a moment and then goes back into her kind of vibe.
Well,
when Sister Mercy says Blunderland out loud, I'm gonna sigh and I'll put down another $100.
She notices that, kind of looks between you all. She now moves kind of away from the pot, puts another claw into the butter and swirls that around, pulls it up, licks it with whatever the hell kind of weird lobster mouth she has.
Oh, I'm going to be so delicious.
She kind of like runs a claw over Whiskerina's whiskers and fur there for a moment. Like, well, she then takes Igneous's tie with the other.
They eat very well at Blunderland, my dears.
It's, she kind of snaps her claws twice kind of over the money.
It's a very, very expensive menu.
I will say, Mikey, you're close to being out of cash on you.
Yeah. I'll
Well, what does it entail? Just so we know what we're getting into, because we may decide we don't like it. We are allergic. Where I am from, there are certain things that I cannot eat.
She kind of like she comes like she gets sort of like she gets like really on top of you and goes,
"Let me tell you a secret about shellfish allergies."
Okay.
She leans in real close, and this like strange, like inhuman mouth of hers, like the breath coming out of it is like moving onto your neck, and it's just very eerie.
But she says, "It's only going to itch and inflame you when we want it to."
Okay. Well,
she moves back around.
But if you really want to know everything about Blunderland and what you can have there, You're gonna have to pay Blunderland prices.
I'll put down the rest of what I got, and I'll say, obviously, yeah, dining at Blunderland is an exclusive experience, and it stays with no one else needs to know what goes on there.
Of course. Well, very good.
She kind of looks at the money. It seems to be like she scoops it all up with a claw and kind of like puts it back by her robe. And then she kind of like does like a pretty impressive flexible move as she jumps up over the pot in the splits and says,
well, let me tell you how they do it at Blunderland. They start with a little bit of a show, song and dance. They have a girl out there singing some old standard. You know the kind.
she'll begin to sing a little bit of a familiar song to Sister Mercy, a song that you know very, very well.
This score is worth more.
Correct. You know, you know the words as, you know, she begins, if you've really got a price where you would pack it in. But hers is kind of this more like dance hall sort of, you know, like, or old music hall, you know, kind of vibe. And sort of as she...
I'm like tapping Igneous like, this is it.
As she lowers herself into the pot, which begins to steam as she begins to boil alive, turning bright red. Still, she continues singing for your benefit, sort of suffering and like wincing at the, you know, the score is worth more than the bright sunny feeling, and like, you know, like she like raises up, and all of you have to admit your mouths begin to water at the smell of fresh lobster.
Oh God.
She kind of continues singing this song. Once it's over, she kind of, you know, she lets out this last kind of on the final sort of score is worth more. On the final more, she lets out this almost orgasmic howl of both pain and pleasure as she finishes cooking. And then sort of like flipped somersaults herself into the kiddie pool of butter, which she then begins just kind of like rubbing all over herself, snapping.
Deranged.
What? This is normal. I'm sorry that I'm doing something so hot, guys. I apologize. I know.
Really struggling here, Philip.
Oh my God.
In any case,
she then, as she begins rubbing this butter all over herself, kind of like leaning up, kind of panting.
Then, of course, Judge Blunder has me come out and do my act. Even though he usually likes to eat in the dining hall, in my case, he makes an exception. So he...
let's see. She's going to look at the four of you here. Which one will she give the honors to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whiskerina. She reaches behind the kiddie pool and hands you a kind of almost like the side of like a pair of hedge clippers, this cracker. And she extends her claw. I think you might be muted or something.
No, I'm just...
You're just upset?
And she sort of says...
She couldn't vocalize yet.
And then he cracks me open. Go ahead.
So I've been to this show before, right? I guess.
You have seen her do a boiling show on stage. You have not seen this private experience.
Okay. Okay, well, the screen is just like, and does it.
Oh! She kind of just like,
Am I
again, just like,
her
as like her claw just like breaks apart, falling off. And what is inside is undeniably delicious smelling lobster, like with like butter like running on it. She kind of like, you know, like the shell falls onto the butter, splashes up onto it. And sort of she looks at you and says,
please don't take a bite. no matter how delicious I smell. Judge Blunder always does.
Okay.
Do you take a bite, Whiskerina?
No.
No? Okay, understood.
I didn't get any breakfast today.
Do not eat this woman. Do not. No.
Yes.
And I like.
Please don't eat me. Please don't do what Judge Blunder does. Please don't do what he does to me.
She kind of like holds this absolutely tantalizing like lobster claws. The meat's just like falling off of whatever is like held up by the remains of her exoskeleton.
It's like, please don't eat me like he does in the theater and the dining hall and on the stairs and in his study and in his bedroom. Please don't gobble me up.
Tell me more about what it's like in the study.
Oh.
Is it juicy?
Absolutely.
She kind of like it's like at this point like the meat is just kind of like falling off of her, splattering into the butter, and her hand is sort of gone.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Can I roll an investigation check to see that if we like eat this woman, does she magically regenerate, or what the fuck is happening, Philip?
You can do an Arcana check, or if you want to, you can look for any ghosts. You could also do your thing to check with ghosts around you.
You know what? I'll like somewhat discreetly, as discreet as Whiskerina has ever done, like channel and talk to ghosts around that have witnessed this maybe before.
Okay.
What do I roll something?
No, you don't. You just you mark off
Okay.
one expenditure. I haven't even put a thing on it. I'll sort of keep track of this.
Cool.
You and this again, over 18 show tonight. Sorry everybody. Whiskerita. You've never seen so many masturbating ghosts.
Good.
The room is just full of them, and many of them
Exactly
are
what
sort of
Whiskerina wanted.
basically, and many of them are just there. I mean, and it's like all sorts of species and
Even better.
all sorts of gender identities, and they are all just going to town on themselves, just watching this. And of course, since they're ghosts, they can never actually. It's a horrible existence. But they are just like they're just.
Whiskerina's here for it, and anyone watching her do this seance, like there's just a slight grin.
Yeah, but as you do this, many of them are just saying, "Will someone please eat it already? Oh my God!" You know, they're just desperate for this show to continue. However, Whiskerina, you can sort of telepathically communicate with any of them.
Okay, fellow ghosts. What exactly is going on here?
You hear various claims
Not to interrupt.
you know, like the you hear various claims of constant agony. We can never see it. We can, you know, like we have to have whatever. But one of them sort of will say, actually no, I'm gonna roll this person. Laura, could you roll me a D100 if you have it handy? I'm gonna roll this ghost up completely for you.
Wonderful. That is a 96.
96.
Or 69.
69 would have been really appropriate. Oh, okay. There is a female satyr, who is basically like, I'm go too far with this. I don't care. There's a female satyr. She is basically on the ground, like doing the worm, and just kind of looking up at you and explaining, she's sort of just grinding her ectoplasmic self into whatever that she's like, she's got lobster immunity or immortality. So, you know, yeah, she just keeps remolting. Please eat something, please. We gotta see it.
Oh, okay, yes. And then Whiskerina goes back, and does, from my intuition, does the offer still stand?
To eat?
Yes.
Yeah, this took you just a few seconds to communicate with these ghosts.
Cool. Whiskerina goes for
So
it.
basically, Igneous, as you're sort of wondering, is Whiskerina just begins, like, eating this woman's, like, claw meat, and she begins, like howling in ecstasy. Igneous and Mikey, make insight checks for me.
That's not a lot. That's 4.
17.
Igneous, this woman is probably in pain doing this, but it's probably a pain she can really handle. So she's acting like this hurts more, because that's apparently part of the fun for the people. So Whiskerina is just like snout first in the kiddie pool, eating up the meat that fell off. And she was in the midst of saying,
Oh, that's a good girl. Good boys and girls eat their meals, and then they learn all the fun things that happen at Blunderland.
she offers her other claw.
I didn't come here to hurt anybody, but
Make a morality saving throw. She smells really good.
9.
Yeah, seeing Whiskerina do this, you grab the crackers up and you just crack the other claw. Pieces of shell just fly off of your shirt there, Sister Mercy, and Igneous too begins to eat. So basically she's got both her hands out as Whiskerina and Igneous are devouring it.
And she says, But in the study, things get really crazy. That's usually where he finally breaks open my tail. Sometimes he puts on a record. Puts on some nice music to listen to.
What does he play the music on? Is it live? Because I only know about live music.
No, he puts on his record player.
I will turn to Mikey and say, is that the same as a phonograph? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So as her claws are devoured, she will sort of continue this sort of like, she kind of like is like now turning around and offering the tail. Whiskerina is seeing some really engaged and very unsatisfied ghosts. But she's sort of telling you about she's told you more of the study.
What's the song that he likes to play? This gets me hot when I know what type of music he's playing.
Yes.
It's so.
Does it get you hot to open your wallet and throw a few more dollars on?
Do I have any money?
You got some money. You probably have like $50 in various bills.
Yeah, it's the money's hot. It's hot as can be.
She reaches back and she kind of, well, actually she doesn't have claws, so she'll use like one of her other like little weird legs and just kind of tosses that over the thing.
And she says, couple nights ago he was playing this very weird music. All sorts of weird little strings and plunking sounds. Oh, leave some for your friends, or don't. Gobble it all up.
At this point, like, her arms are just down, Whiskerina and Igneous are like sucking more meat out of the, arm holes, claw holes. You guys know how lobsters are eaten. It's indecent. And imagine if you were doing it to a 6-foot-tall one who could talk. In any case, but she's describing strange music, sort of with odd instruments, and she says it gave her a headache.
But he seemed to just love it, and at that point I was just completely helpless, because, he'd cracked my tail.
She's sort of like turned around and wiggling her tail at you.
At
all of you.
At all of us? Somebody else got to take one for the team here. I'm getting full. This is so good.
She's a 6-foot-tall lobster. It's a lot of food.
I will.
Just the mercy, you.
Okay. I will reach in and grab like a chunk of meat from whatever's closest.
You got to break the tail open, Sister Mercy.
Okay. It's so big. I don't know what to do with it.
If you're just gonna grab it, make an athletics check. Yeah, make an athletics check. Actually, yeah, do that.
Oh God.
That's good.
Oh, dirty. No, 19.
Not with a 19, Sister
Yes.
Mercy. I mean, you've probably eaten lobster before or whatever, but it's like you basically you get some hands under some of like the kind of like the plates of her stuff, and you just like cracking a lobster open, and you pull the armor of the tail off, and there's nothing but meat under. She again makes this like delighted sound as you rip that out, and now you guys can sort of feast on her.
And I will grab a piece and dip it in the butter of the kitty.
You know, and the butter it's like this amount of butter is just kind of gross, and like there's like stuff floating in it at this point, but also it is if you just want pure decadence, basically you can sort of see why Judge Blunder would be into it. As she continues, however, as you guys continue, you could ask her more questions. Also, Whiskerina, why don't you make, she was describing the music. I would like for you to make another history check for me. I know it's not one of your strongest suits, but I think that, actually, no, you could do performance. Do performance.
Performance?
Yeah.
I know I can't find my character sheet back. There's a lot going on.
Understood. Believe me, I know.
Yes, there is.
14.
You're not sure anything about it, but like the kind of music she's playing, it sounds vaguely old-fashioned or even almost like Shakespearean or something. It sounds like maybe she's talking about like weird like lutes, like some madrigal or like a lute song.
Okay.
Something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it sounds Shakespearean?
It sounds like of that era, old-fashioned. It sounds like something someone would play at a Renaissance fair. Or, as you would pronounce it, a Renaissance fair. Because, you know, pretentiousness.
Lovely. Wonderful.
Yeah. Theater majors. So, yes.
Okay.
It sounds
Noted.
medieval. So as you guys all eat this woman's tail, Mikey, is there anything else you want to ask? You're the only one who hasn't started eating yet.
Just say, I mean, it must be a pretty interesting record player to play stuff like that.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm usually just focused on the pain of it all. Oh, it hurts so much to be eaten. Then, of course, he takes me to his bedroom to finish me off. You want to know about the bedroom?
Yeah.
Big 4-poster bed.
She kind of just describes the incredibly opulent bed. The bed is also huge because it fits a 12-foot tall troll.
Yeah.
She does mention, but then Judge Bluster and I, because he pays real good, and I'm not sure any of you can afford this last part. I don't only mean in money, but I mean in terms of your bodies. How much do you know about trolls?
How much do I know about trolls?
Make a Arcana check.
Damn it. Come on. It's a 10.
Can all of us?
Yeah, sure. Anybody can do an Arcana check on this. Yes, sorry. Go for it, Igneous. You're eating lobster, but you can still focus a bit. 4? 5.
12?
12. Okay. You remember some of what they were saying. But none of you kind of quite know it, so she kind of like laughs in her pain as you guys continue eating the rest of her.
And she sort of says, see, trolls and lobster people have something in common. We can regrow things. So Judge Blunder, when he's nearly done eating me, while there's still some of me left, he likes to rip off a part of himself and let me eat him too. 'Cause he'll grow back. Of course, I don't think any of you have the money or the metabolism for that.
I think you're right about that one.
Mikey, why don't you make a morality saving throw as well?
It's a natural 1 for a 0.
Then you just can't, like, as much as you guys know you should be, like, asking more questions about stuff, I'll say between the two of you have just kind of willingly done it, others have been failing. At this point, you guys just spend about 5 minutes just, like, gorging yourselves on Lobster.
Right.
Her sort of, what remains of her shell is kind of flopping around, and she kind of, like, splashes back in the pool. You know, you guys are wearing bibs, so there's going to be a section about this big on your clothing that doesn't have lobster juice and butter all over.
Oh yeah, I
would
would take it off my suit jacket.
Yeah, you pulled back at that point. So as she kind of lays back in this butter and kind of swirls it around, it says,
Well, I hope everyone's very satisfied.
How do you get to the study? Because you know what? I'm just going to continue to eat the meat that is so good. This is so good.
You asked her and then you kept eating. I'm going to say that the typical whatever she would do, because you're eating, she doesn't pay it too much mind, and she says,
Okay.
Oh, well, the study, it's just up from the main entrance. But there's a stairway going back from the dining room. He likes to rush me up that. He thinks it's funny how much trouble I have getting up with it, because he's already eaten a couple of my legs and claws at that point.
Then she kind of like she opens her eyes. Her face is still intact, but she kind of says,
Good.
Oh. But why is it you all want to know so much about Blunderland anyway?
It's his.
It's mythical to people from where I'm from. We hear about it and its mysteries and its magicalness and its sexuality.
Make a deception check.
Perception?
Deception.
Oh, deception.
Yeah.
Can I not do performance?
No. You're just lying.
Okay. Oh! 22.
22. Is that a nat 20? Or a 19?
19.
Very good. Good. So she'll kind of like chuckle a little bit.
Well, I don't think it's a place you should try to go. I have the luxury of growing myself back. Not everyone does. And most people who go there, they get eaten one way or another. No one has as much fun. Or at least they certainly don't.
You said that the judge has something that he feeds you and it grows back. What is he? Lobster too?
Definitely not. Between you and me, he doesn't taste so good. But, you know.
But the money does?
Oh no. What's happening?
Well, girls get used to swallowing all sorts of things.
Good.
It came to me. I didn't want to say it. I paused. Then I said it anyway. And that, for anyone wondering, is me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's not impulse control. I can stop, but then I don't. Then I do it regardless. Also, just to be clear, she's going to be a bit of a felter, sort of more seductive version than this. But like, this is basically what we're talking about. That's an Aldana. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
You guys just bust her open, and you ate everything inside.
That's messed up.
It's a lot. It's a lot. The point is, oh God, there's a special place in hell for me. I hope it's fun. Anyway,
Paradise.
with that, she does actually kind of like raise herself out. You know, her claws are gone. But she uses her elbows, and you do actually notice there's like an odd sort of like, it's like some shell seems to be like, it's very soft, almost like kind of like membranous, but it seems to already sort of be pulling back. And you also notice that her shell that was so bright red when it was in the water is already kind of almost like molting off of her, and now there's kind of a darker color underneath. And she says, well, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. You certainly look like you've eaten well.
It was delicious, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, do
you have a hot towel?
Moist towelettes. Ask Puffy for a moist towelette. In any case, thank you so much. I was not expecting the day shift to be this profitable, so it's very appreciated.
Always happy to be a patron of the arts.
One last thing. If you're thinking of going to Blunderland, I really would advise against it. Oh, wait, you're famous. She kind of looks at Mikey. Oh, well. I don't know why you wanted to talk to me, and I don't care. She kind of gathers up her robe, putting it on. It's like sticky with butter on her. She kind of gathers up the money that she kind of tossed behind there. She says, but one thing I'll say is, if any of you get caught, don't let the judge know how you heard about it. Or you might get a really bad case of indigestion.
Of course.
One of her weird eye stalks kind of winks at you, and then she goes out of the room.
I am thoroughly confused about what happened, but I feel like we got a lot of information that is very helpful. I need to pray a lot about what I just experienced.
Yeah, I need to go home and take a shower.
Do they have dessert here?
Ooh,
You got room for
sounds
dessert?
lovely.
At this point, if you're legitimately like asking that question, Puffy does come in, and she will hand all of you a single moist towelette that's like that big, like in like a little, like what you get with ribs.
Here you go. Oh, well, you guys look like you had a great time.
Gracias. Yes.
Wait, did she let you crack the tail?
Is that what? Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my. Well, I didn't realize you were such high rollers. That's fantastic.
Igneous, are you asking about dessert?
Yeah, got any dessert here? I mean, something maybe a little less involved.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, since it's not the weekends, Black Pudding's not performing. And you probably wouldn't want to eat her anyway. But let's see. I mean, I got candy and mints and olives. But, you're asking about dessert. Roll me, Zane, a D10.
A 10.
You rolled a 10.
Oh no.
Roll me a D4, because one of the other ladies here actually does.
1.
Okay. She sort of says, yeah, well,
This is sort of awkward. What with how your friend's dressed and everything. But Chastity does have a routine called the Order of the Sacred Tart.
No, Puffy. I think we will like. I think he wanted more of a just like a kind of like to go thing in a to go box, like not like an actual.
Oh well, you eat it off her box. Well, never mind. Listen, the point is,
Thank you so much, Puffy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean candy. I got chocolates.
I'll take the some olives. That sounds
sure. You can have some
nice.
olives for dessert.
I need a mint after that.
Sure, she'll let you have a mint. Yeah, you can get a couple things from her.
Yeah, and then We should probably be leaving.
All right. So if you guys step out into the rain, the other people are gone. Ophi's still here. He kind of looks you all over. He sees Sister Mercy covered in butter and little pieces of like lobster meat all over her habit, and he's just kind of like, oh. He gets like really close to you, kind of his fez, you know. He holds up his umbrella and just kind of leans in and goes, "Are you okay?"
Yes, I'm fine. Why? This was an interesting experience. We saved souls. I am covered in butter.
Yeah. He kind of gives Mikey this look of like, man, what are you doing? Come on. You're better than this, bro. Come on. What the hell, Mikey?
I just kind of like not look back.
This is fine.
No. All right, look. It's okay. He kind of like just one last time turns to Sister Mercy and goes, "You're not defined by what happens here, by the way."
You. Yes. Thank you. And I will. Wait, he's like serpentine, right? So he doesn't have any arms either.
No, he has big arms.
Okay,
he's like
so I will,
he's like snake from the bottom down, and then he's
and
like
then
he's
the
snake
rock
scales.
on top up.
So I will pat his shoulders and be like, I appreciate your concern.
Sure.
This was very educational, I will say. I learned
But
a lot.
yeah. He sort of at that point, sort of, if you guys are gonna find a cab, he will say, "Oh, bye, Whiskerina." And Whiskerina, as you were sort of leaving, as you were leaving, the ghosts all sort of wailed in like lack of fulfillment. The satyr said to you,
as I left.
Yeah, just like, "Oh man, that was great and terrible. This is hell. We should really go somewhere else and not watch this. We don't have to be here." The satyr, who's still, you know, just like on the floor, she's like, "Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye."
Bye.
Doing the worm. Okay. So with that, well, you guys are out in the rain. You've what you learned from the Bat Dragon is, I guess you learned some stuff.
You know.
Wait, Whiskerina, go ahead. Whiskerina, yes, Whiskerina, go ahead.
I had a question about the bad dragon and it was never fulfilled.
Oh no, what is it?
What do the drinks look like? And did they come with, like, you know, like instead of umbrellas, are there like sex toys?
Oh, yes. If you guys want to stop if you want to stop at the bar, you absolutely can. On the way out.
I will just have red wine, to be clear. Red wine.
So they don't have red wine. They have a red wine spritzer, called the Throbbing Cask.
Okay, I will take it.
Yeah. So basically, the drink names are all just I didn't prepare a gross drink name. I mean, I could think there's definitely something called a Whispering Eye, but like there's but yes, Whiskerina, I think that they probably are garnished with, if not sex toys, that might be too, well, depending on, actually in this era, they would be way too big. So instead, they're just garnished with like little, you know how like there's like a cocktail sword where like there's like a, you know, like an old fashioned where it's like there's like a little plastic sword and there's like a maraschino cherry. Well, in this, the maraschino cherries are run through with other little plastic things. So it's that kind of thing, but it doesn't, because of the time of it, it doesn't have like a full, because like they'd be plug-in back then too, you know, like, so yeah.
Got it.
It would really overwhelm the glass.
Understood. Thank you. Still worth it.
Cool. I'm sorry I did not tell you that. Could have met a bunch of other strippers though, but it was probably for the best. So as you guys step out in the rain, you say goodbye to Ophi. You have learned some information at what cost, what little ability people had to look me in the eye. I think we're going to call it a night there.
And we're spent.
And we're spent. I mean, you guys, you know, a
How
lot
much stimulation?
there's a lot of blood rushed to. Oh, that being said, wait a second. Mikey, Igneous, and Sister Mercy. As you walk out, your thoughts are obviously on your goal, but at the same time, all three of you actually experience a pang of guilt, longing that you didn't share that experience with someone you really loved. Suddenly, you almost feel sick with yourselves that you did that. Like, obviously you weren't really engaging in the sexual side of it at least too much, but Mikey, Sister Mercy, and Igneous, Whiskerina, you saved against the second save with the phonograph, so you were not experiencing this. You're just kind of like, well, that was good. Okay. But the other three of you are overcome by a genuine guilt and sort of sickness at what you've just done. Sister Mercy, you just desperately hope that Mr. Rawlings never finds out about this. Igneous, you hope Metamorphia would forgive you for eating another woman's tail. Mikey, you know that Violet the Vamp will be able to smell this on you. And you're already in your mind just trying to come up with how to talk your way out of this.
Yeah, I'm a fast talker. It's okay.
Even so, I need Sister Mercy, Igneous, and Mikey to make morality saving throws.
Oof, nope. It's a 7.
7.
Not natural 13.
Same.
Okay. 13. Ooh. You know what? Let's have it be a 13. Let's just have a 13 be the DC of this. Slightly lesser effect. Happy Friday. Mikey, however, overcome and in nothing related to like any kind of like disordered eating, but more disordered morality, you do puke all of this lobster and butter up in the alley, overwhelmed with guilt. And it just mixes in the rain, and it is just this horrible thing. The city is a dark place. But aside from that love you all feel for these specific people, you are also all entirely devoted to just Jenny. And you need to go and get this phonograph for her. You now know where the study is. You know some of Judge Blunder's proclivities. You did learn helpfully that he regenerates, so that's something you may want to deal with when fighting him, that he can grow limbs or other things back. And you have confirmation that the phonograph is in the study, which you now know the location of. So we're going to end the game there with you having, I guess, accomplished God knows what.
Accomplished your premier storytelling experience. And
me having broadcast more evidence for the prosecution at whatever my inevitable trial may be. So yes, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched. We super appreciate it. If you like the channel, please follow us or subscribe. You can link your Amazon Prime account. Get a free subscription, have to renew it every month, yada, 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 all that good stuff. We said that at the beginning. I also want to mention that we have Here Be Dragons on Sundays. That's at 7 p.m. on Sundays. That's our dragon game. We have Temple Flight on Mondays, our superhero game at 7:30. And we have Grey in the Dark, our other noir game, also at 7:30. Our last Temple Flight noir game had something that was arguably more upsetting than this, in which they were meeting some cartoon sex workers in that one because of an investigation they're doing. And literally, I think the greatest name I've ever come up with, they met an insect-like cartoon whose name is Jerry Jiggalouse.
Wow.
And his specialty is scalp massages. And we lost viewers on that one. Anyway, so thank you all to those of you who still watch. I'm trying to drive you away.
We now have, as of this game, 600 followers.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, followers.
Yeah, we hit it tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's so appreciated. We appreciate that. I think that's...
Speaking of...
Yeah, yes, please.
Thank you. Shout outs. First, I want to say, like, there was a great opportunity to use the nice emoji. I don't even know if is that what it's called here?
Yeah.
Emote.
And no one used
Nice
it
emote.
tonight.
There were a lot of nices.
Yeah, the nice
yeah.
emote.
Well, we don't know about that. I guess we should just generally chat up all of the emotes. That's a great point. There was a good time.
Yeah.
But we did have Kim's Craft resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1, has been subscribed for 4 months. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We had the birthday boy, L.E. Rosen. He's been subscribed for 3 months. He resubscribed this evening. We had a hype train this evening with a bunch of bits. Lauren and I gave bits at the wrong time because we just didn't know how to do it. So
there's a small thing.
And there's a dog.
This is Bear.
A little baby bear.
A baby bear.
Oh dear.
Hi, Bear, to everybody.
Oh, wow. That is a tiny dog.
That's Dan's favorite. Tiny little dogs.
What, Bear?
Your dog's name is Bear?
It's not my dog. It's my friend's dog. But yes,
Understood.
Bear.
Wow. It's a very small thing.
It's so cute.
Well, dogs, everybody.
Philip's a dog guy.
I really am. Yep. My main things that I love are dogs. I really like seeing dogs. I really like the messes dogs make. I really like how they dominate people's lives. I think that's cool. I really like how people will be like, oh, I have to go home and do this thing for my dog. And I'm like, great, cool. Yeah, dogs are awesome. Love how they bark. They make messes.
They're just growls.
This one?
Aw, baby.
He has his baby.
What is that?
It's a blue baby.
Oh.
A blue what? Just like
It's
a random
bear.
toy? Oh,
Or
okay.
like a cow.
I was kind of hoping it was. I
Done.
was hoping it was Cookie Monster. That was
That was
the
good. There's
shade of
almost
blue.
a dog fight there.
Hey. Oh, like airplanes. Wait, is that where they got the name? Listen, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate all of your patronage on this channel. I do really want to point out that though I introduced the idea of the Bad Dragon, and though I did have a table of performers ready to go, I did not send them there tonight. So everything that happened is ultimately on the players, not me, as is always.
It's Chekhov's sex.
True.
It is Chekhov's Sex Club. That's true.
Yes.
Oh,
my God,
wait,
I love it.
wait, but hold on. Chekhov's Sex Club is definitely just called the Cherry Orchard.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yes. Can we go there next time?
You guys can go to the Cherry Orchard. It's a much more austere place.
Yeah, the
I guess
dive bar is called the
I guess
Seagull.
it depends on how messed up the sex club is. It could be called the Three Sisters.
Yep, I knew that's where he was going. I was ready for it.
Yeah.
Yep, understood. And it could be called that. That's true. You've got me there. Then Ibsen Sex Club is called the Dollhouse. We can do this all night, you guys.
There was just one more shout out that we forgot to give.
Oh my God,
and that
please.
was to Philip and your totally fucked up mind that you had us eat a lobster at a sex club.
That was
brilliant.
Philip.
Guys,
And
listen.
That was beyond the pale.
I just think that sometimes what I'm trying to do is validate my own stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna put in the hottest, coolest thing, my ultimate fantasy of the past 6 years. I'll put this in this game, and then everyone will be in the game. Will be like, oh my God, we're too horny. This is too hot. We love this so much. And instead, they all laugh and say it's gross, and I die inside. But at least now I know never to actually reveal that to a person.
Also,
Wait a second.
Orwell Sex Club would definitely be called Animal Farm.
Oh my God. I love this conversation. Makes me so happy.
The internet is forever. I just want to remind everyone.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I had a couple more, but I don't need to do them. It's fine.
I got a couple
yes,
more
you
too.
do.
We
Yes,
just-
you do.
just
Go ahead. I've got a weird one. I've got a
Okay,
weird
let's
one.
go. Let's go. Let's hear it.
Oh no.
I like this because this doesn't sound like a sex club, so that means it's weird. What do you think George Bernard Shaw's sex club is called?
Oh, well, like an edgy bar would be the Crucible for sure.
I think that's.
Oh wait, George Bernard.
Yeah.
St. Joan. I know.
George Bernard. I'm gonna say George Bernard Shaw's sex club is called Arms and the Man. Just because that just upsets me.
Thinking Arthur Miller.
You are thinking Arthur
Yeah.
Miller.
mhm.
Arthur
Yeah.
Miller's sex club is called I Had Sex with Marilyn Monroe.
Many times.
The sex club.
Yeah, he's like, that's all I have to say about it. But enough about sex, unless you wanted to get more.
I would say Kurt Vonnegut to be Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No,
God.
it would be Sirens of Titan.
Mm,
I'd rather go to Sirens of Titan, let me
no,
tell you.
It'd be Cat's Cradle.
I would go to that bar.
No, it would be Breakfast of Champions. Okay, that's it.
Mic
With
drop.
that, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a dreadful night.
We will.